Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this lecture video on looking at the internal energy that a system has. Alright, so first of all, what is internal energy? Well, internal energy is the total amount of energy that a system has. So for instance, if we're looking at a chemical reaction, it is the total amount of energy that that chemical reaction consists of. What we can do is we can break down internal energy into two component parts. That is kinetic energy, which is also known as thermal energy, and potential energy, which is also known as chemical energy. It's important, so there's kinetic energy and potential energy. It's important to note that a lot of times, instead of saying kinetic energy, thermal energy is used, but it is the same thing. Also, for potential energy, we often use the word chemical energy, and those two mean the same thing. Okay, so let's look at what kinetic energy is, and the kinetic energy that makes up a system. The component parts of kinetic energy really deals with the motion of molecules or atoms at the molecular level. And so that's what we're looking at as motion. And there are three types of motion that molecules or atoms can take. And that is translational motion, which means that molecules or atoms are moving in a straight line. Rotational motion, which is molecules and atoms spinning. And then finally vibrational motion, and this is atoms that are oscillating up and down. Alright, so these types of motion that occur within a system makes up the total amount of kinetic energy. Alright, now let's look at the potential energy. Potential energy exists in a system as a result of the attractive and repulsive forces acting on particles within a system, obeying Coulomb's law. Alright, and so we have already looked at throughout this year so far of different attractive and repulsive forces that occur within systems. Two of these important ones is electrostatic forces in chemical bonds, which we are going to look at quite a bit in this unit in thermodynamics. So the electrostatic forces that make up chemical bonds, those forces have stored potential energy in them. Two is the potential energy that's created from electrons in their relative position from the nucleus. As you recall that as an electron gets closer to the nucleus, the amount of potential energy decreases. But the further an electron is from the nucleus, the more potential energy it has. Alright? And so these two major factors creates the potential energy that a system can have. Alright? So that is the two component parts of internal energy. So make sure you spend some time learning these kinetic and potential energy very well. And that's it for now.